Good evening, you all. It's a wonderful evening, and I'm so happy to present you a wonderful webinar to you guys. Yeah, it's food forest. We all are eager to learn about food forest today. And thank you for being here, guys, to learn about this. It's actually a very important topic for us to sustain uh, upcoming days or years, whatever it may be. Before deep dive into the topic, let's get to know a little bit about your host. It's actually me. Yeah, learn about me first, then learn about farming. Okay, here. Hi, I'm John Milton from India, and I'm an engineer by profession and a farmer by living. I'll explain what I mean in the next slide. Like, this is my journey into agriculture. I'm born and brought, raised in an agriculture family, and I have been an electrical and electronics engineer by profession, and I have worked as a chip design verification engineer for a year. And later I realized it wasn't my cup of tea. So guess what? I quit and came back to my hometown and got my hands dirty. Exactly. You guys are wanna do that, but at the end of this, no, you don't need. Okay, these are the wonderful subtopics or topics, whatever it may be, we are going to discuss in this wonderful evening. So if you guys are have some kind of pen or paper with you, it will be so good because we are going to give you a very awesome practical tips which are going to be directly used in your farm. Before that, let's find your why. Why we need to start a food forest, or why we need to do farming, or whatever it may be related to agriculture or farming. Why? We all have this kind of mindset. We doesn't do anything without there is an something from that we have to we like we all expect something from whatever the things we do. Like we all think in that way. It's not a bad way, but also it doesn't mean it's a good way of thinking. Okay, then we have to figure out a way by the end of this webinar. Like, it's important to know your way to stay motivated. Because the reason is when the reason is stronger, we'll do it. If the reason or if there is nothing out of it, then we don't do it. Like, it can be like getting a clean food, reducing your environment impact, spending time with your family, or you can build this as a new hobby. And other than that, here are some of the examples of why we need to do or create a food forest or do farming. Like health, growing chemical-less food, harmful food. It's a nutritional food. It gives a lot of benefits, and you can also grow muscle like me. Sorry, not a big muscle, like tiny muscle. However, it depends upon you, and it's great for mental health. And this kind of farming activities increase our family bonding, and as a byproduct of it, the soil or mother earth also have some good benefit from doing farming or starting a food forest. Absolutely, the soil health is going to improve. As I said, how healthy the soil is, healthy the society. Let's say if the soil, if let's assume if the food we are eating or buying from the supermarket or whatever the place, the soil of the crop which get grown from wherever, if that doesn't good or healthy soil, how come the crop or produce from that soil would be as healthy? Like the farmer is going to do some use kind of pesticides and what other things. That's how the soil is going to produce a produce. So eating that kind of produce is really not good for our health. We all are aware of that, but even though we are all aware, we doesn't making any single steps to eradicate that kind of error we've been seeing Like it's not kind of error, it's kind of cruelty happening around your society. We have to stop that. I think there is a power of there's a little bit of quality issue with my video, so please bear with it. However, there isn't lack of quality in the webinar, so that's, I guess that's all right for now. Yeah, here onwards we are going to deep dive into practical guides. I hope you all are ready with your pen and paper. Let's get started. Step 1, site selection and design. If I am going to, if I were in your position and I'm going to start my farm or food forest or whatever, where's a place in my backyard I have to plant my veggies or whatever the things, I would do this as my first thing. I would like to observe my farm or field, whatever the things I'm going to use to cultivate my crops, because observing is an important skill in farming, because we have to observe like what's the wind direction, what are the water flow direction, how our land is, okay, is it a slope or it's a flat land, and like that. After that only we get a overview of like what are the things we have to plant, like where to plant, just give me a second, where to plant this trees, where the places have shadows, where the place is sunny, so that uh, we can specify the plants or crops as per the surrounding. Then only the plant will grow perfectly. Let's say if we put a sunny crop in shade area, there is no use of planting. Okay, choosing the right location is the key. As I said, you need to spot your sunlight, water access, and suitable soil. For example, if you are living in a slope area, or if you have a land in a slope, there is an, yeah, thank God, the power is back. Designing your forest around those lines will help you to catch the water runoff, and also you can also stop the soil erosion. That's what I'm saying, is that if you are living in a slope area, you have to plant some kind of plants which are good, has a good root strength around the area, so that it helps you to control the soil erosion, and it helps you to stop the water runoff too. And also we can do another thing, like we can dig a hole around the farm where it was slope, or a place where it run the water runoff place. We can dig a hole, like a hole of like a feet, 2 or 3 feet, so that the water can be stored in that, and it get back to the soil. In that way we can store the rainwater and whatever the water it given by nature. And if you have a reliable water resource, it's not a problem, then you don't have to dig a hole around your farm. It's all right, perfectly all right for you guys. You guys are started with water. For people who are living in cities, they might have to pay for water taxes. So in that, like kind of, if you have a small backyard, you can try digging up, and so that the land can withstand more moisture. So we'll discuss those things in later. Step 2, soil preparation. As we discussed earlier, healthy soil is the foundation for healthy food forest. You need to test your soil and amendment with organic matter. I hope we have a webinar on how to improve the soil and how to check the soil quality and all. Please check this out in our channel. And if your soil is sandy, like mine was sandy when I started off, we need to put lot of compost to improve the structure and quality of the soil. Compost means nothing but the leaves and wood chips and manure, like that. We can mix all of them and spread it over the farm before starting planting anything. Because when we plant a crop or whatever the things, if we plant in a soil which doesn't have any quality to grow, it would be waste. And we also lose interest, because hey, see, this land is that this doesn't suitable for farming, for growing any crops. There is nothing like that. we have to improve the soil quality by using compost, manure, and like that. If your for land is something like that I mentioned earlier, then you have to do like you have to use compost and manure and prepare the soil for at least 3 to 6 months, so that you can, after that, if you plant something, it will thrive like something very good. And important part is, after doing setting up your soil, we have to select plant. Selecting a right plant for your whatever it may be, garden or whatever the land or whatever it may you may call, is crucial. Because if we all tend to think, okay, starting a farm means we just have to plant all the plants which are going to produce for us. As I said earlier, going to plants like is it going to give me a fruit? Okay, plant it. Is it going to give me a food, or is it a good vegetable? Plant it. That's not how it works, buddy. Yeah, if you have a very small land, or if you're going to do this in a backyard, you go absolutely go like that. But if you have a huge land, then you guys have to do is like, we have to plant support trees first. Like those are the trees going to help the the lower trees to grow. Like if we plant some kind of large trees um, with a very branch and leafy stuff, like jackfruit or mango, those are the trees. If we plant around the farm, those things will shed leaves, and they can be used as a compost. So in that way, the soil quality improve. The same way, the crops, after that we planting similar crops around that, it will help those crops to grow better, like we discuss in the next slide, so that you can get, I'm trying to say, like what I said. Like, have you guys seen this tree? No, the big tree one, that's called canopy. Those are the ones I said as support trees. Like we have to plant them first if you have a huge land. If not, we can directly grow and produce of like a direct which gives something to us to eat, like just give me a second, like fruit trees, root and climbers and ground covers and stuff like that. Once if you have a huge land, then we go as like we discussed, like we have still have to plant a large trees, so that we can use those as a compost. After that, we have to come as an understory, like the after below that we can even create a banana tree, something like the fruit trees, something similar things, and herbaceous. After that, we can do some root plants, something like garlic or onion, and we can even plant climbers below the canopy, so that it can climb on the tree, so that we doesn't need anything separate for separate setup for the climbers. And ground covers such as carrot or whatever the things may be close in the ground. This is how we need to plan our land to plant trees or create a forest for you. Here are some of example of what we discussed earlier. For canopy layer example, we can um, might choose an apple tree in this case here. It provides shade and fruit, and its leaves and add organic material to the soil. As I said, its leaves are going to use as a manure. So obviously it's going to help the soil. Understory, for example, apple tree, you could plant its nitrogen fixings plant, like Shiberia shrub, which can, at the end of the day, those things have to help the soil, so that in return we can get a healthy produce from out of it, whatever the things we plant. Without soil health, we can't get anything out of it. Like we expect something out of the land, like that we have to give something to the land which makes land healthy or soil healthy. In that way, it's a two-way process. We doesn't only expect something from other one. We also have to give something to the other person. Like that way, we in soil and the plants work. And like we discussed shrubs, berries and local fruits. And important thing to say, and plant things which grow locally. Don't plant something which is exotic fruit or exotic vegetable. It doesn't work like that. The term exotic is because form is because it only grow there, so only the we call it an exotic fruit or plant. So don't try to bring those plants and plant it in your land, and don't say it doesn't grow like that. No, each landscape has a different type of surroundings and soil health. So we have to work based on that. So do a little bit research around your surroundings, so get to know about what other things will grow here. After that, you guys can get started your buying plant and do stuffs like that. And ground layer crops such as clover and as I said, onion or garlic, and root layers, something like that. And climbers, grapes, kiwi, and many more climbers we can also. There are a lot of veggie climbers also. We can plant whatever the things, like depends on our need. Yeah, here comes the interesting part. Pest and companion planting. As the term refers, companion, we are going to, as I said earlier, we are going to depend on some other plants to grow a plant. Yeah, marigold, yeah, flower, the marigold. It's a very good pest repellent. If we, they are strong scent, attract other insect and species around to in to marigold, and thus by it cause repellent from other produce, such as protecting nearby vegetables like that. Like how we need to plant is like we are going to see in the next few slides. And another pest repellents or trap crab for is known as nasturtiums. Yeah, those things also work the same way. Those also attract the insects or whatever the things which may affect our crop to the nectar, and it kind of set a trap like that. It if there is an insect, it first go to this kind of flowers, so that in that way we can reduce the attack on our vegetables or fruits like that. Yeah, yeah. Here comes the interesting part. As we discuss companion planting, you can get to know what is companion planting by seeing the image below. Like we discussed earlier, we have to plant pest repellent around fruit or vegetable, whatever we are planting, like basil and tomato. Basil can act as a repel from tomato for tomato, and which also enhance the flavor of tomato. Garlic and roses. If we plant a garlic around the roses, which can act as a pest repellent. Mint and cabbage. Mint can repel cabbage. So this is what companion planting is. Let's say if we plant a fruit tree around below that fruit, we can plant climber. Around that we can create a root crop or whatever it may be. After that, we can build a castle around a crop with pest repellents. Like tulsi is the best pest repellent, and neem, it's a wonderful pest repellent. Like that, we have to identify the companion planting to repel the pest. I hope you get it. Yeah. Let's say if you guys done everything as I said, you selected the land by analyzing and observing, and also you selected the crops which are local and just started growing very good, and also you have been successfully Build your castle around those trees or fruits or veggies, whatever, by using pest repellents. Okay, then what? It will grow. Yeah, it will grow, but also we have to maintain and care for the plants we planted. Once your forest is planted, you need to take care of it through watering, mulching, and regular observation. Like we don't need to do often watering to our plants. It also causes a rotting of the plant. Rather than doing that, we have to regularly adding mulch to water to improve soil health over time, and also it can store moisture for long period. Rather than doing frequent waters, you have to do a very good watering in terms of we have to throw some mulch and compost around and over the crop, and if we water it perfectly, it can hold the moisture for very long. In that way, the roots can't root, and also the root have the moisture content, so it will help the plant to grow greener. Rather than if we plant more water, it will leads to the picture line, the right hand side, it's grow rot and waste, and we can only use that as a menu. So there is an proverb, no, little drops of water, no, not that. Alavuku minjina amidam nanju, which is a Tamil proverb. Whatever the things which may do overdo, it becomes a deadly wish for us, like something like kind of. I can't remember the exact proverb. Sorry for that. Yeah, that's all. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and let me know if you guys have any questions around these topics we have discussed today. And that's all. And keep farming, build a community around it, and encourage people around your households to get started into farming. That's all. And also, if you need any help from our side, please reach out to our website. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. It may be starting from sourcing the crops or setting up your own farm. We'll do everything. So don't forget to reach out to us if you need any help. Bye.